All right. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say, this is a lovely night in which the Most High has made. And I, Sister Deborah, share. And I will. And I share. And I will. And I share. And I will rest therein. I'm coming with a topic: the power in the mystery, the power of the mystery of Ahayah. There is power in the mystery of Ahayah. You know how it says, no man knows the mind of Ahayah, but you can find that when it's given unto you to know the mysteries. The mysteries are the things in which was orchestrated before the foundation of the world. That's where the mysteries are coming from. And in this day and time, I'm going to show you that there are those in which Ahayah has uh, poured out his mystery in. Only Ahayah can do that. Yeshua can't do it. Only Ahayah has that power to usher his mystery, his secrets, to those in whom he has ordained, predestined to handle his mystery and the power therein. So I, Sister Deborah, want to say to you, I first would like to say I apologize. I fell asleep and didn't wake up until it was late. But here I am with the message in which I had upload for today at 8 p.m. So I ask you to forgive me. I'm up late, and hopefully you can catch it in the morning. And the title of this message is The Power of the Mystery. You know, something happened today to me earlier this morning as I was just beholding a couple of videos. And it was a feeling I got. I got more so after I saw, then a feeling came. After I saw, then the feeling of sorrow rest within me, because I saw in three videos that, how would I say it, our men are in fear. Okay. And when I say our men, those who feel that they are leaders, those that feel that they are kings and rulers, and they're leading messages on this platform, what I'm seeing is a face of fear, a face of wondering, a face of concern, a face of worry. And I'm like, what is this I'm seeing? And as I continue to see it, one after the other and after the other, then the sorrow came. It was it's a sense of sorrow was in me. And I said, well, so are they at that point where things are going on and things are beginning to see it clear, and it doesn't feel good to see it clear, meaning seeing it for what it is outside of what they've been teaching, what they've been deceiving others with, or even what they understood. And that's the thing I would like to say to you all. This thing is people take everything so personal to the point where it's about me, and mine's. And they take it so deep to where they don't understand, baby, this thing is beyond you and I. and Republicans, Democratic, the fake Jews and the real Jews. This issue is beyond all of that. Why? Because heaven mm, 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 has orchestrated it to go beyond what we can even imagine, think, feel, speak. This thing is bigger than us. And the sad thing about it, now it ain't sad, it always been. It's just where we take it, especially within ourselves. We take everything and we put it and make it about me, we, mines. It's bigger than that. And as time go on, one will understand that. I think about my children and how the spirit of the Most High, Ahayah, my legs are getting chill bumps, has already explained to me the day shall come when they will moan for the fact that it was so much mom had warned us about. And if we could just reach out and say, they're not going to be able to. I already know that. But it's just the ideal that I can see that already. And it brings sorrow to me, but it also brings a completion of the mission in which he has sent me on. He has appointed me, anointed me, ordained, and predestined me for a time as this. And in this time, it is not time to get caught up, not only in my babies, I ain't babies, but my children feelings. Even the feelings in which I can see on down the line. Should Deborah meditate on that and really get bent? No, because Ahayah is showing it to me for a reason. And the reason is not to take it personal. This need be. See, and that's the thing about the sorrow, how people are going to get and be left behind, because they're thinking that Ahayah is not going to look at the rooted heart of who they are, the rooted heart of who their ugly mouths are, and their mindsets, and the way they mindsets thinks and feel. The rooted heart of everything within an individual, and how they think, how they function, how they do things, how they place themselves in this life. It means nothing. So even me seeing on down the line the moaning of my children, just, and guess what they moaning for? Guess why they're crying? It's because what mommy has said is before us. We're seeing it now. And we can't reach to her and say, Mama, you told us, you warned us, you always prepared us. They're not going to be able to do that. So what I'm saying is, even to be here as a mother and know that these things is ahead for your children is because you're seeing them already. You're seeing this already. You know what you see on down the line. But are you going to get bent today and make it so personal to where you can't continue your run and your mission in which you were predestined, ordained, and foreknew in Ahayah before the foundation of the world? No, I can't. I have to know that this, like he says, Deborah, this need be. Everything works in the will of the Father and in the purpose of the Father. Sometimes you might think that, or I might think that, okay, Father, I know you told me this, but I'm going to step over a little bit this way and see. But when it all said and done, it goes back to what he said, what he revealed to you, what he's shown you. And it makes you special, Because it's like, okay, you told me this, but I'm going to give the benefit of a doubt and step over to this. And the result was really good for me because it made me get back in line with Ahayah and what he had said and what he had told me anyway. So it's a beautiful thing to understand that Ahayah cares for me enough to inform me ahead of time about situations, even when I might step out of the situation and thinking that I'm going to uh, um, give the benefit of a doubt. I should have just heard the voice, explained what he said to me that he had already said and done. And the purpose of me understanding it was to know that this need be and that this is what you're dealing with. But you believe, you give the benefit of a doubt because I didn't trust him fully in that. So I stepped in a realm I should never have done, in a realm that I never would have done. And I look at the results and I just thank the Most High because I got a blessing out of it, you guys. I truly got a blessing out of it. It goes back to many a times I have always allowed and brought people in. And my kids throughout their lives, they seen me bring in under the roof strangers, you know, and they never saw a stranger I have brought in that didn't come in. They didn't know the issues that the stranger were having or the hard times. All they knew is that mommy got a friend that's coming, or they looked at it as, oh, mommy brought this friend. But now today they said, mama, you always bringing people in. You always, why? Because that's just who I am. But see, the thing about it, Satan can get in anyway, even if it have to pay to come into to the elect of the Most High Ahayah, will come straight in. And you be thinking, oh, well, okay, what is this going on? And then I be like, okay, Father, what's going on? What's going on? And then he gives me the assurance of what's what. And then me, myself, it's like, okay, I've done this so many times. Is it really, Father? And then you move on and you really don't take heed to the warning sign, but you take heed to the things that the Spirit of the Most High inform you. Because one thing about the Father, he's going to give me some warnings beforehand. He's not going to let me just do something and let someone come that close to my zone. And my zone is my flesh and my spirit. He's not going to let that without him giving me some input about what is actually taking place. And most of the time, what he gives me, it'd be right. It'd be right. But I have done it so many times to where it doesn't bother me to do it. But never again, ever, 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 ever again. Because one apple can spoil it forever. Because I look at the situation and I think, he said, count your costs. And a lot of people don't understand that because they feel that the cost is they this, they that, they this, and they that, me, I have, and never think about, wait a minute, try sitting your tail down and count the costs. See, they don't do that. You see, but people comes into your zone and you will open the door and allow them. But the Father is saying, Deborah, either they want spirit and truth and want me, and they want you to give them something that I can give them, or either they come in for other reasons. And I thank the Father because he did warn me, and I did sit down and tell my children the field that I had, and it nailed it to the T. To the T. And then I just dropped off right there and went on my way. But the problem is I wouldn't do it again, ever again, especially off of YouTube. I won't do that again. I think I've done it off of YouTube probably 4 times, but I've taken in strangers. I don't know how many times, but um, I've done it. So, and I look back at it, and I just thank the Father for the experience of knowing that uh, uh, who I am is an individual that's not materialistic type of person. Um, and like each and every one that has have, they would tell you, even when it was with my children, when I was bringing strangers in, one thing they would tell you, it was always peace. When you come into a place where there's peace and you leave out where there's peace, then if anything else in you is not uh, peaceful, where you going or where you come from, it's because anything else is because that individual or not don't have peace within. Okay, this is peace is here. Here is peace. It's peace, a peace of mind, and it's not orchestrated the way an individual portrayed it. I remember thinking of how my daughter goes and she gets these. They call them B&B things. I think I'm saying it right, but she would get a place and she would uh, uh, lease a place for. I think she do it from 5 to 7 days, and but you can do it like from one day to seven or one to a month or whatever, and it's normally a place where she can lease just that one occasion, and it has many rooms in it, and it's so reasonable. So, just thinking how a women's retreat, uh, and I realized through the spirit of the Most High throughout all this summer, I knew if I connect with her, she would have done a wonderful job setting it up for me to have a women's retreat. And I just thank the Father. I thank the Father so much because of who I am and have always been, that I would have set that thing up so beautiful. Um, 3 days, 5 days, more so like probably I would start off like 3 days. But I look back at it because I was really preparing it and saying, yep, this is how I want it. So I can be able to hand to my daughter and let her do uh, the magical everything that she would do. And I look back at it a couple of days and I said, thank you, Father, that I didn't do that, because the Father began to show me how you are so easy to invest in others and to do things to bring fun and joy and peace. Do not. So he began to say, I've told you, run the race. And all this time, I didn't catch what he was meaning when he was saying, don't look in who's running on the side of you on each side. Don't look to the side. And that look to the side is wanting those to be running in the race with me. Don't do it. So I look back at it, and my sister and my mother and my brother, they're my brother-in-laws, they would tell you, because I overheard them saying it one time. I overheard them. He said, if y'all ever want to get something together, man, I'm telling you, I don't care what these sisters do, but when Booby do something, that's me. Oh, Booby know how to do it. And when I heard that, I felt so good. They didn't even know I had heard it. I felt so good because that's just who my personality is. I can come up with a women's retreat and make it a life experience. But I thank the Father for not allowing me to really, how would I say, put that package together to hand to my daughter, because I mentioned it to her this past summer, and she said yes, she could do that for me. And I didn't care what state uh I would have went to, but I would have went somewhere else out of the state that I'm in, closer to the states that everybody else is in, but to the state. But I thank the Father right now, and I do, and I'm just thinking about how the type of person I am and how I invest into anything that I do. I bet invest every penny, and I put so much effort in trying to make people enjoy and have a good time and have a good experience. But I thank the Father. I thank Him because I think my last experience here on YouTube, connecting in any way that would bring me into an environment where unity is at, it's over. All you have to have is one bad apple. It's over. It's over. Because, like I've said to you all my life, I've been a giver, 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 giver. I have never been a taker, 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 take. I have never been one to say, "Can you give or give?" I have never been that. And to be in that position and do it, and the response was so self-centered, self-motivated, self-pleasing, self-ego, just self, I was like, okay, Father, that's what you were saying. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you. So I had to, that was me. That was no one else's fault. That was my fault. Because Ahayah had told me that way before, a couple of months ago. He had told me. He said I had whispered in that individual ear, this is what I want you to do. That individual ear never took heed to what he said. So when he told me he did that, and I'm like, oh, that was nice, thank you. He said, but you won't see it. These are the things Ahayah sets you up from the floor. These are the things when we stand before the throne that he's going to say, you didn't, and you didn't, and I told you to do this, and I told you to do this, and you didn't do it. Or you did it, and I asked you, you did it. I told you, you did it. I spoke to you, and you did it. But where we're at today, people don't have no sense of unity, especially on these devil platforms. Facebook, YouTube. I can't say Facebook because on Facebook, my page is, I got 310, and it's family members and high school and community where I was raised in. That's who all of my uh, people on my Facebook is, that group. So it's forever, it's always saying, y'all, let's do this. Let's do this here. Let's do this. Let's get together and go to this here in Chicago. Let's get together and go to this here over in New York. I'm telling you, they always trying to unify and get together and do things. It is a problem when you have the heart to try to bring unity to a bunch of people that has been tuning in to your voice and what the Father is bringing out of your voice, from your spirit to your voice to their ear and to their spirit, then bring it into a unity. So where but it makes a lot of sense. He's been telling me these things need be. There's no unity. A lot of people want to role play. That's why Sister Deborah always made messages about clown clothing and role playing, because in reality, that's what it is. It's a bunch of us just out here role playing, and we are thinking that that's the way to happiness and to fulfilling. But when it's all said and done, the outcome is going to reveal. Sister Deborah sitting here sharing with you, and I'm not going to give you the fullness of what he showed me about my own 6 children. Is it hurting? Yes. Because I don't have no problem with my children as far as me being their mother, them respecting me, and I'm being their mother, and I see their who they are, and I respect who they are, and you know, no problem at all. If you were around me and my children, or around my mother and my sister and them, you say, hey, this is a good family. This is it. You don't find it like this, but it is. The reality is that's just who my surroundings and coming up in is. Do we have issues like other families? Sure we do. But we are a giving family. I remember being in high school, and in high school and after high school, and how everybody wanted to be a part of our family. And guess what? They were. Everybody would come over. My son was the first grandbaby, and uh if he had my oldest sister and them had him parties for every reason. And if he had a birthday party when he was one, birthday party when he was two, three, four, and any other party they wanted to give him in between, all of a sudden, how is it you're gonna have 40 children and 100 adults at a 1-year-old party, at a 3-year-old party? Was that not crazy? That's how unified my family was, as far as people from the post office, people from Southwestern Bells, people that where my other sister work at AT&T, their friends and their friends. Oh, Raymond's having a birthday party. And that's how it was. So me coming from a family like that, and then I had a very humble father, and a very I call my mother humble too. So I had a pretty a decent, I'm gonna be honest, blessed life. Okay, so I try to spread that out, but you know what? The Father is teaching me a mighty good thing, is that just because that's who you are, don't trust those that's in your midst. And not just meaning around you midst, even on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, don't trust their mouth, because their mouth says one thing, but they have another gender here and in their hearts. So I thank the Most High for that. And now I'm going to get into the study. Let me see how far away. I wasn't planning on saying all of that, and I don't know how I got into that, but I'm going to get into the topic right now, and I'm going to swing this really fast. Okay, the name of this topic is the power of the mystery. The power of the mystery of Ahayah. A lot of people don't know there is a power connected to the mystery of Ahayah. And if you find someone, or you get in the midst of someone who has that power of the mystery, you better hold on to them, baby. Hold on to them. I'm not telling you to hold on to me. I'm telling you, if you come up on and you find someone that has the power of the mystery of Ahayah, that's your one. That's the one you are to cling to. And I'm not talking about clean and unrighteous. I'm talking about clean to in the desire of righteousness. Okay? Now, if that individual you connect to, and you have to bypass that individual in a way that Ahayah is not sending another one. That's the sad part about it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for you. If you have to bypass one that Ahayah has given you or has put in your presence, and you are not able to spiritually discern the power of the mystery that's given to that individual to be in your presence, okay, to be a one to speak to your spirit, okay, then once that individual cease from your direction, or when I say direction, your present, then good luck, because you ain't gonna find another one nowhere. Nowhere. Because Ahayah is never in the business, in spirit and truth, in the light, and even who he stand for, was sending two and three in the path of one individual. That's not how he rumbles. When he sent in a prophet, he always sent in it by one. And then wherever he sent into the prophet, all the other ones that rest in that location would say, when we have 30 prophets. So the king would go get his prophets to stand in the midst or to challenge the one prophet of Ahayah. So that's how it is. You're not going to get, you guys, another one like unto Sister Deborah. And that's the same way I was trying to give you an example of my children. Anything that or everything that I have spoken to them, I have given it to them so deep in their spirit. Once it all come to pass, they're not going to be able to reach back and call and say, Mom, no. And this is where I see the sadness and the moaning, because now I can't ask her where I go from here, or what do I need to do, or what should I do from here. It's not going to be any of that. So if he gives me this for my children, then tell me, who are you that I am not to inform you like unto? It's not a Ahayah is not sending prophetess and prophets 24 to you. That's not of Ahayah. And you are not elect to receive that sort of blessing. Not from Ahayah. Now, from the world, yeah, all these prophets and prophetess that's coming up on YouTube and have been on here. Now they in this prosperity and how they're gonna do this, they're gonna do. Take it. You can have it. But my calling, I feel, is a holy, special calling. Because Ahayah has already informed me a lot of things that I think many of prophets didn't get the opportunity to know. So I want to let you all know that I feel that he is worthy to be praised and honored and put up on pedestals and put up high as high can be and looked at as all that and some, because he is. Now I can be saying that that's who he is to me. I don't know what he is to you, but I can tell you that's what he is to me. He's all that and some. Okay. So I want to get in this topic, and the topic is the power of the mystery. The first thing I want to say, the power of the mystery, as I dived in today, and I found it to be so beautiful. I didn't know it was that beautiful. It's so orchestrated in such a spirit and truth situation. When I got into the study, he said to me, he said, Deborah, you remember when I was telling you about Genesis 1 and 2? He said, you see Genesis 1 and 2, there's a mystery there. It rests right there. The mystery is right there, Deborah. And you always knew it. That was a mystery. He said that same mystery was the start to the finished. It was the start to the finished. What he's saying is, he said in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, he said, when I taught you from the wilderness, I taught you who us was. No one would know who us is unless I myself have taught them myself. And I'm like, okay. You know how he always say that They were in a vision from Abraham. David was in the vision. Every last one of them be's in vision, especially the men. He always forever taking them to vision. So to me, my vision, I get the visions and I get placed in visions, but I also are taught from a vision. And he was explaining to me, when you're saying you're learning in the wilderness. The wilderness is a vision, Deborah. It's a place I take you to reveal these things unto thee. So he was telling me, when I taught you Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26, who us was. And he say, you grafted, and you grafted really well. And he say, that is called a mystery. I said, but it doesn't say it's a mystery. I said, but it doesn't say it's a mystery. He said, because it was founded under no sin. Sin hadn't touched the earth, nor were there any unjust, unrighteous. Everything was perfect. Okay? So in Genesis 1 and 26, when he's saying, let us, he's actually saying, let us. And then he began to show me the mystery. I said, but I know that part, but I didn't know that part. And I said, that is a mystery. So as we go through this, we are going to understand. I know I didn't. We're going to, let me see if I can take this book. I'm going to move this here. We're going to come to the fullness of a lot of understanding here. So let me just go here to Genesis, what he was telling me. In Genesis, let's go there. Just get your Bible. Go to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26. And I'm going to show you where he was telling me where the mystery is at. He say, now, you see the mystery. And I'm like, yeah, I know who us is. I know who let us is. I know who that is. And I know who that is. He said, no, keep reading. He say, in Genesis 1 and 26, it says, Yah said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. He said, you see the word our? Our. I have that much sight of who the power of who I am is, that I'm willing to speak to it. Because when I speak to it, it brings forth everything that I have spoken. So he began to show me the word our image, our likeness. And he took it from let us. And then he said, our image, Deborah, our likeness. You remember in the beginning of Genesis, everything was let. But when it came down to Genesis 1 and 26, now we finna make it in our image and in our likeness of who we are. You look at that and you can see that Ahayah has a high level, a high level of respect for his own power. He knew that his power was present at the beginning. When was it present? It was called, he was talking to his power when he said let. Now, the power was letting everything that Ahayah spoke come forth. Okay? Bring it forth. That's what the power was doing. Okay? But when it came down to let us, he said, now we finna make power. We finna make one like us. Like our image and our likeness. And who is his image and who is his likeness? Our likeness and our image. What is, we know the image of the Father, and his likeness is a spirit. So what is he saying? He's telling the right hand, like a spirit, okay, that's once going to have the power and the image, like us, like we in our likeness, the way we like ourselves is the way we're going to bring forth man, because he was the word that spoke, and his right hand and his stretched out arm was the power. But the mystery rests in let us. Us was always present when he was saying let this be, let this be, let this be, and the power brought forth everything that was spoken. And then it says, let us make that which looks like us, our image, and the way we like it. You see? And it shows you where he says, and what he said, and so Ahayah created man in the word own, in his own image, in verse 26. You see? In his own image. First of all, when you're full of the Holy Spirit, you can recognize things when it's slanted. That means Ahayah is sending a message strictly to you. Strictly to you. Look at them slanted words. I'm sending you a message spiritual. Okay? When it says the word is in inspiration or inspired by Ahayah, this is how. See, we thinking man can come in here and they can tamper with this. Yes, they can. They can move this up, they can move this down. But Ahayah is the one that can put it right back in order with his spirit, his Ruach HaKodesh. That's the whole idea that he has to teach you, not Sister Deborah. He has to be present in you and being your teacher. Sister Deborah is just one that plants a seed of his word and let him do the mighty increasing and the feeding. Okay, so he took me when I wanted to go over this lesson about the power of his mystery. He wanted me to start in Genesis with the beginning, Genesis 1, where it spoke let, and then you get to verse 26, he's still saying let. He's still speaking it to the power to let it come forth, but this time he's saying, now, we're gonna have to make us. You see, we're gonna have to make us. So let us, okay? Our image, our likeness. And then it says in verse 27, so Ahayah created man in his own image. So he was always talking to himself. It's just that nobody recognized he speaks highly to his power. His power is one to respect, to honor, okay? Because it was present at the beginning during all creation. That power, it bags up and bag down the word for the Most High, of the Most High Ahayah. I salute that Father in the name of the Most High Ahayah. I salute that Father, y'all. That makes a lot of sense. So he wanted me to go there to see that is a mystery. He didn't put it as a mystery because it is the beginning when there was no sin had hit the earth. That means everything was righteous, just, spotless. So it was no need to put a mystery on top of that which was not a mystery. See, that has to be taught to the elects, okay? That is where I say that there's a lot of mystery a lot of people don't know about, is because he didn't give it to you. And if you find someone that are or teaching the mystery and the power that rests within that mystery, that is the one that you need to be up under hearing, okay? Learning from. But if it gets to the point where you see that person to be nothing but one to give, and you show no effort toward what you are learning, okay, or you feel that there's this individual have to and must say this and have to say this way and this way, and you are going to be lost and going in circles for the rest of your life. Okay. Now, another one he was telling me about the power of the mystery. Now, that is the I think that's the best one right there. That's the best one. But he got a lot of them listed that he's showing us, showing many people that mine has this mystery. I've given it to Sister Deborah, whether you like it or not, whether you like her or not, whether you think that she should say this and she should say that. It doesn't matter, because you didn't call her in and you ain't going to be the one to call her out. So go, run your circle. Okay? So, he began to tell me about, he had another mystery. And I said, wait a minute now. These two mysteries are in Genesis 1 and 2. He said, that's why I said to you, Deborah, if they miss Genesis 1, verse 26 and 27, but basically 26, they have missed the beginning to the end. Because the first mystery that wasn't called a mystery, well, wasn't necessary to be called a mystery, because it was perfect, the two beginnings. If we say Genesis 1, if we say Genesis 2, those time periods were perfect. No sin, no nothing. So you have to be able to bow down to that whole fact. Okay? Now, when you get to verse 2, he began to tell me about the Garden of Eden. He began to tell me about the trees. He said that he put many of trees. Now, we know that it wasn't like trees, like we really take it to be. But whatever it is in him, he put, let's read it. Genesis chapter 2, verse 9. Out of the ground made Ahayah to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight. So I want you all to understand, the first thing that trigger people is the sight. Okay? It's the sight. So Ahayah made these trees to be pleasant, first of all, to the sight. Now, are these trees that he's speaking of, is that the same for the tree of life and the tree of good and evil? The knowledge of good and evil? Yes. For the sight, what we see. Okay? And good for food. So it's what we take in. It was good for what we can see and take in. Okay? The tree of life also in the midst of the garden. It was in the midst of the garden. And the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Where he was showing me the mystery in verse 2, which is a mystery. See, I wouldn't today, until I went into the class with him this morning, I wouldn't have considered Genesis 1 and 26 and 27 to be a mystery, but it has been for me as a person that can explain the right hand and the stretched out arm was us, which is the beloved. It is the son of Yah. It is Emmanuel, Yah with us. It is what the world calls Christ. Okay? So it is the right hand and the stretched out arm, all power. That's who us is. Okay? Us is who he is. It's just his power part. Okay? That's why he said, let us make it like our image, because his power, which is his right hand, is his image. It is his image. Okay? So, here in chapter 2, in Genesis, he went to telling me about another mystery. And I'm like, okay, I want to teach this from the standpoint of the way that he taught me. But as I'm talking to you tonight, it's looked like he's taking me a different route. So bear with me in this because he's taking me a different route. Now he's saying in Genesis chapter 2, another time of perfect no sin, it says that the garden of Eden, he had to grow trees that was good and pleasant for sight and good for food. And the tree of life was in the midst of the garden, and the tree of good, of knowledge of good and evil. What he was explaining to me was the knowledge, the know-how, and to know what it is, what good and evil is almost to the point where the what people would say they got a choice. Just think, if that tree wasn't there, would that be a choice then? So you have to look at the knowledge of good and evil being placed there in the garden that was pleasant to the sight, just like all the other trees was to look upon. Okay. So with the tree of good and evil, what he's wanting me to let you know, the mystery in it was that people think that good and evil are two separate entities of a way a person would take on life, doing good or doing evil. But it connected the both together through knowledge. Through knowledge, good and evil. Now, knowing, the knowledge of knowing good and evil. That was the tree that Adam and Eve took of. Okay? So when they took of that, this is where the mystery is at, still in 2. He wanted me to see that good is detached to evil. Evil is detached to good. He began to say that, okay, when you remember you work at places where the multitude, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 of people. And when people would want you to commune with them, it didn't make no difference what color. So the Europeans would always say, when I never did any wrong to no one, I never hurt anyone, I never took stolen, and I'm just a good person. I do good. I don't bother nobody. I don't hurt nobody. I don't steal from nobody. I do good. But what the mystery is that holds the power is that when he placed the tree of knowledge of good and evil, okay, when he placed that there, he placed them there as a whole. Okay? They are there as a whole. That means good is not good enough. What you mean, Deborah? It's not good enough to enter into the tree of life. You see? Having good is not good enough. That's the mystery. So when people talk about, when I'm good, I don't do no wrong, and I don't do this, I'm good, it's not good enough. Good enough for what? To enter in the narrow gate to eternal life. Good is not good enough. Well, why is that, Deborah? It's because when he created a left and a right, an up and a down, a cold and a hot, he created good and evil in the form of understanding it with a connection. They work together. Things you're going to do that's good and things you're going to do that's evil. There's going to be days you're going to use more so your right hand than you will your left. But you're going to be used. Both of them going to be used from that one body. Your left hand and your right. You're going to use both legs, not one of them, unless all you got is one. You see? When you looking in front of you, are you going to use your left eye or your right eye? You're going to use both of them. So what he's saying, a lot of people think that good is good enough to be considered righteous, and it's not. It's not good enough. So that's the mystery. Because he was explaining to me that if you take 80% of people in the whole world, and you interview them, most of them will say that they are good. There's more good in them than evil. And they think that that good is good enough. And in Ahayah, it's not. That's why he connected in the garden with the tree of evil. He connected good. That means that you're going to do good and you're going to do evil. They come hand in hand because you have the knowledge of the both of them and you swing them according to good or evil. But neither one of those can get you to the tree of life, to the narrow gate. Neither one of those can get you there. Okay? And then what happens? Then you go to Genesis chapter 3 and verse 22. And Ahayah said, behold, that means look, the man is become as one of us. Now, who is he talking to now when he said, man is become as one of us? Who is he talking? One of us. Now he's becoming as one of us. What? To know good and evil. That's when he's speaking to angels in the heavens. Man has become like one of us. We know good and evil from this level. Okay? Now watch this here. And now lest he put forth his hand and take also the tree of life. So he's letting you know good is not good enough because it comes in the knowledge of knowing good and evil. Remember Paul say, when I try to do good, evil is present. That's it. That holds a mystery because a lot of people in this day and time really think their good deeds, their good work is going to get them somewhere. Because another thing a lot of people don't understand, you can have good deeds and good work and still have the wicked of the evil heart within you. Because the intent of what you're doing, the purpose of what you're doing. You see? So therefore, you can have, you can do good, but have an evil intent. You see what I'm saying? And an evil behind it, a purpose behind it that overshadow the good. You see? So that he went to sharing with me is a mystery. He told me that. That is another mystery. But those that's in Genesis 1 and chapter 1 and chapter 2, they hold mysteries. And that's why today you got a lot of teachers, pastors, seers, watchmen, apostles, priests, prophets, and prophetess, and leaders really believe they teaching the people. But they teaching the people with no mystery. And Ahayah does not build up on those that have no mystery. What does it look like that he's going to have a bunch of people called, appointed, and anointed and don't know what he stands for or his purpose in any and everything that he stands for? You remember he said, who knows? Now this is man saying it, I believe. Who knows the mind of Yah? Okay, that approached me, I think I was like 15 or 16. My issue was, well, if you don't want nobody to know the mind of you, how I'm going to know your word? How I'm going to know you and what you stand for? I used to always ask stupid questions like that. I did. Because I'm like saying, what you mean no one knows your mind? When what about me? What if I want to know your mind? You know, I used to say some stupid stuff. And I was dressed in Ahayah. I wasn't dressed in nobody. I never was the type of person to go in somebody's church and tell them how to run their church and how to do this and how to do that. Oh no, I sat my butt right in the back and I learned from the environment. Why? Because I was loaded with gifts. And I did not like the feeling I was having when I was in the church and trying to control all those gifts that was invested in me. So I do. I thank the Most High from taking out the time to teach this silly girl, because I was a silly girl. I asked questions. I'll never forget. He said, "Little women, you ask too many questions that man cannot answer." And I appreciate everything that he has done in that. And then he went to tell me another mystery also rests in chapter 2. That's another one he gave me. I got it wrote down here. Another mystery that is not spoke of as a mystery, because anyone that gets into Genesis 1 and Genesis 2 and they understand it, then therefore they now hold the mystery of Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. A lot of people have taught for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years and know not the mystery of Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. So now I can call it a mystery, which I think I have in time past. I can really say that it has the power now of the mystery of Ahayah resting in 1 and 2. So that's what I can say now. It has the power to. Because even in Genesis 2, we still with the Genesis that have the power to the mystery, that's not called the mystery because it's a perfect time period. It's a perfect sinless time period. So it didn't have to label itself as the mystery because it was a mystery within it. So in Genesis chapter 2, he's telling me now, speak on the level of Adam. Adam was given something that many today focus on and have focused on. Many religions and even different denominations believe in the 10 commandments and the law. Okay? They believe in it now, but they see it not in the beginning. He say the mystery of the first commandment and the first law was given to Adam, not to her, but to him. And the first thing he was explaining to me, that he gave instructions and directions unto Adam. What is instructions and directions? They are a commandment and a law. Commandment and law is simply instructions and directions. But the Father wanted me to share with you that there is a mystery in chapter 2 of Genesis when he gave the first commandment and the first law to Adam. Okay? And he wants me to go on and read it. Okay. The first commandment and the first law. And let's see what he says in this commandment. In Genesis 2, which is perfect, sinless time period, okay? He says in verse 16, Ahayah command man saying. See? We thinking the first commandments came with Moses. No. The first commandments exist before the foundation of the world. Okay? And here you hear where the first commandment and the first law, which Ahayah has taught me in the wilderness, commandments and law are simply instructions and directions. So, listen to chapter 2 and verse 16 of Genesis. And Ahayah commanded the man, saying, where do you see the woman? You see? This was a commandment that was given to man. And what did he say? Saying, of every tree of the garden thou may freely eat. But of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eat it, therefore thou surely die. That was the first commandment and law, which is the first instructions and direction. It was given to a man. Okay, so he want me to share that we would read and be taught. See, that's the difference in telling y'all who's teaching, who you are hearing from. You see, the ones that holds the mystery, the power of the mystery of Ahayah'S word, or those who has called themselves to position to rule and teach you. You take your pick. So I like this because he brought me back to it, because I know he did place me in that study of showing me that the first commandment and the first law was given to that man when everything was perfect. Okay, and that Moses, it wasn't a big thing that Moses had the 10 commandments. The law and the commandments and the law was placed in the beginning. You see, it was always present. Okay, it went in when Genesis chapter 2, when everything was perfect and no sin, the law was put out. Okay, so when we look at it and we look at the 10 commandments, and we're looking at that and the law, we call it the 10 commandments, and we look at that and we look at it as an iron claw. You have to understand there was always instructions and directions that the Father has given us, and we haven't taken it. But now we're trying to hold on to the commandments that was given to Moses when he has been giving them to us from the beginning. That's what he's trying to get you all to say. The commandments was already in the beginning. Okay, so that was a mystery as well. Now, I'm wondering, should I go to this one or no? I'm gonna go to my pages and I'm gonna start there. So I want you to just get out a piece of paper and a pencil, because I'm gonna try to move kind of fast on this here, so we can kind of not use up so much time. Okay, in Revelation chapter 10, verse 7. In Revelation chapter 10 and verse 7, it reads, but in the days of the voice of the seventh angel. We know that that's in Revelation. Revelation chapter 10, verse 7. So that's in the end day, right? He's talking about the voice of the seventh angel when he shall begin to sound. So when he began to sound, the mystery of Ahayah should be finished. Okay, I like that, because it's actually saying that during this time in Revelation, everybody's looking for a right now word in Revelation. Everybody's running to Revelation to see where we're at in this day and time and where we are going. But I like what it says here, because it lets you understand that it is finished. As Sister Deborah tried to tell you all, it is finished. Say about a couple of days ago, I realized how finished it really is, and how every time he said he's done with, it's finished, I thought back to all of that, and I said, but Father, it really is. Listen to this in Revelation chapter 10, verse 7. Now hear this. But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mysteries of Ahayah should be finished. That means you all running around here trying to get a right now word from people on these platforms. And these people' mission is to deceive you. because Ahayah's mystery is finished. And let's see where it's at. If it's finished, okay, as he has declared to his servants, the prophets. See, he's finished his part. Ahayah, just like I told y'all. I've been telling y'all that for 2 years. Almost 2 years. Let me say almost 2 years. It's finished. We're waiting for him to throw up and throw down. We're waiting for him to do something and to bring us to a level where we feel good and comfortable and okay. No, you ain't, baby. This thing gonna walk my Father's will out whether you like it or not. It ain't gonna go your way. And it never will. And it never have. And it never will. So ways that people are plotting in their lives, it still ain't gonna go your way. Okay? So it's finished. Okay? Because finish means there's mysteries that you never knew. And if Ahayah has suffered someone to come in the midst of you and give you the mysteries and the power that rests in those mysteries, it ain't you don't have the power within you nor the spiritual strength to buckle up against him. Because Ahayah's finished. He ain't gonna come and give you no revelation. He ain't gonna come and deliver you out of it or in it. He's gonna allow his servants, the prophet, to continue the mystery that he's done with. Isn't that beautiful? He's letting you know that even though Deborah, I told you it's finishing me. And I tried to, for so long I've been trying to tell these people on this Deborah platform. That's why I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall. It is actually finished. A lot of people thinking this lady just talking, she don't know what she's talking about. I don't know. It ain't about if Sister Deborah knows what she's talking about. It's their spirit and truth to what she said. That's the thing. And he's sitting here telling you the same thing I've been telling you. It's just that people, it's just in an individual. Guess what else I learned? In this last week, I realized that pretty much everybody can be able to know who they serve. You should already know who you serve. Not know by your fleshly thought pattern and how you have willed yourself to say that you all that and some in Ahayah, or I'm in spirit and truth. I'm in the light. Ahayah, Ahayah. Those are mimicking words when you've been under someone and you support that individual. Zip. You see? Now, supporting is not when you want something and you give. You're trying to gain something. You want to come in the midst of someone. You want to go in the midst of someone. That's not it. That's conniving. Okay? So what I'm saying is you can line up all day and all night and circle around your little head. But there is one, if there's nothing, that I know for a fact, that I'm not in the wilderness learning from the Most High Ahayah, the things in which he don't want me to forget. It's not like I have to be in class at this time. It's just a refresher that says, come on here, let me show you this. Didn't I teach you this? Didn't I show you this when you were 16? Didn't I tell you this when you was young? Didn't I show this? And I'm like, yeah. But, so I thank him for that refresher in the wilderness to always bring me back to where he had taught me in time past, so I can, and that's what the Spirit says. It says when the Holy Spirit comes, it's going to bring things back to your remembrance. And that's what he's doing when he's taking me back to the wilderness to go over things, okay, in this day and time. So here in Revelation chapter 10, verse 7, it's beautiful. It's beautiful if you really see it in spirit and truth. It says, but in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of Ahayah shall be finished. I explained that to you guys. Ahayah's mystery is finished, but it can be founded in his servants, the prophet. Why? Because he has declared to his servants, the prophet, the mystery. So that's why people don't understand why I'm hardcore on saluting his his curses, his will, his discipline, his chastising, his order, and everything he has done. I salute it. He created the evil for the days of wicked and even wicked. I salute it because it makes all sense to me. It all makes sense to me. Okay. Now you go to, let's go to Corinthians. First Corinthians chapter 2, verse 7. I don't know if you all know this, but this is a really a good spirit and truth lesson of the power of the mystery of Yah. Revelation just told you it's finishing, Yah. Sister Deborah been trying to tell y'all that. It means exactly what he says. It's finished. The mystery. He's not coming down here to come sit with you as an individual and you study with him. He's not doing it. He's not doing it. That's why I say where we are at today, you should already know if you're the tare or if you're the wheat. You should already know. Are you in the broad gate or are you are you in the broad gate, at the gate of the broad gate or at the gate of the narrow? You should already know is you serving Satan or if you serving Ahayah. But what people do is they serve their mind and their wicked heart in their flesh to believe that they are walking straight into the New Jerusalem. They ain't even looking to their left and looking to their right. They just assure that they there. But I tell you one thing. You should know where you at today. You should have known yesterday. Because you can see people role playing. Just ain't got nothing to do but role play all day and night. But where your role play be tested is toward that which you worship. When that is tested, it tells you who you are, where your heart really rests. And it's a sad thing because I learned also the basic things in which I could say people can't comprehend it. And I thought, when I said, okay, now, Father, that feels like someone that's maybe has a mental issue. But the Father told me it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that, Deborah. And that hurts my little heart to know that. That's why Sister Deborah said that one. That's all I need. That's all that higher could be putting before me is that one. Because he know in that one is the strength of knowing when there's two together, he's in the midst. Just that one. Okay, so let's go to First Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 7. This is beautiful to me. This is beautiful. First Corinthians chapter 2, verse 7. But we speak the wisdom of Ahayah in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which Ahayah ordained before the world unto our glory. See? When Sister Deborah tried to teach y'all what took place before the foundation of the world, it hurted my heart that I taught that lesson twice and not one was able to. Yeah, one person did. Yes, she did. She did climb on top. As time go on. But one clammed on top, which was beautiful, and that felt good. But it's a sad thing that you can give such a potent word, which is the power of the mystery, and people can't get it. Can't get it. People better, you know what? All of it reminds me of what he said. He said, I say what I mean what I said. The gate is narrow, Deborah, and very few gonna find it. So no matter what you give these people, it don't mean they gonna find it. Because I already know the gate is narrow. But they will find other things to get emotional detached from the whole overall of what really needs to be focused on, which is spirit and truth and righteousness. Okay, now listen to this. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 7. But we speak the wisdom of Ahayah in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which Ahayah ordained before the world until our glory. That means he had already put that in us. Ahayah did that, you guys. When? Before heaven and earth was created. Before the world was. And that's what's making people be messed up from the floor up in their mentality. Because they base it on where they at today, what I have today, what I'm going to do today, what I'm going to build up on today. And when you finish, baby, if you ain't got the revelation of yesterday and what took place before the foundation of the world, you are lost today. Because that's the mystery. That's spirit and truth of the matter. Because all it's going to take is the time when the storm, which has been prophesied to us over and over. And the storm is deeper than what y'all think. Because I was like, wait a minute, Father, I got an issue. This is just too deep for me. When did David kill his friend, his soldier, his head soldier? Why would he kill him? He smocked him. Why did he do that? And Ahayah allowed. Now listen to this. That's why, see, when Sister Deborah say that sickness can come on you and everything you think you in control over and you can rule and everything you think you have ain't going to be worth a dime to your life if sickness had to come up on you. Guess what Ahayah allowed? Ahayah, son of pestilence, upon David's army. 70,000 died. 70,000. Blew my mind. I ain't never heard of nothing like that. I never looked in there. And that's why he said that's on you. Because I told you time after time, go back to the beginning, read how many times I destroyed their tails. So when you see you saluting the idea of we're going to be destroyed here, baby, this is what he said to me. Baby, come on back here where I'm at so I can show you. I've been doing this for the longest. So they lucky I'm destroying this. Back in the days. And when I read that, I was like, but Father, why did David smock the guy? Oh, because he counted how many people they had to fight in the war. What? You see? Let me tell y'all. Because of who he is, I am not and cannot be what you say that I am or what you want to make me to be. Okay? So if anyone has any issues with who Sister Deborah is or what Sister Deborah said, you need to park your whole mindset somewhere else and don't return. The reason why I'm saying that is this. I got a feeling that it is those who gets on this devil platform still eating from the plate in which Sister Deborah is putting food on and still have a rotten side of them because they've been all this time while they've been on here trying to nitpick to see what error they can find error in Sister Deborah. And you know what's sad? You know what's sad? It's because the heart that they have didn't start when Sister Deborah got on this Deborah platform. The heart that they had didn't start when they joined and subscribed. This is who they were since they were young. Chaos. Chaos in their family. Chaos among friends. This is who they are. And they breed it from generation to generation to generation. And it keeps going on in circle. And it don't get better. So it don't start with Sister Deborah. This stuff that started way back. And that's why the curse cannot be broken. It's because you're joined this website and you get on here, you listen to Deborah, you hear something, at least your spirit knows something about her, but your flesh can't be content. This can't be. This woman can't have this much information. This woman can't sound this 100. So I got to search and find where I can feel comfortable in my flesh, accepting who this individual is. Ahayah schooled me good, didn't he? So in 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 7, I love that because what I love about it is what I always told y'all, and spoke to y'all time after time. I was taught what took place before the foundation of the world. And see, here it's talking about the mystery that was hidden, even the wisdom that was ordained. See, we thinking, I explained to y'all, there's two wisdom, just like it's two knowledge, and there's two understanding, one for the flesh and one for the spirit. And the one for the flesh and one for the part that the spirit of Ahayah holds when he come abide in you. Most of us deal with the one on our flesh, the wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding, because we think we smarter than thou. And the smartest people are the dumbest, because they always end up in damnation, because they won't let their fleshly mind see spirit and truth for what it is. Their mind don't believe in just taking in spirit and truth, and this is it, I'm good with it, thumbs up. They always got to search to the left and to the right, something so weak, to try to throw what is in the center off balance. So they search petty yetty stuff and trying to find error in petty yetty issues and completion in petty yetty issues or questions to throw them off the main focus of what's in the center. That's deeper than deep. And that went over many heads. Okay. So I liked it that way. Now, we're going to go to Romans chapter 16. I like 1 Corinthians and chapter 2 and verse 7 because it tells the truth of the whole matter. That's the love. That is so beautiful. It tells you it took place before the heaven and earth was created. So all this wisdom you think you got in your flesh, all this knowledge you think you got in your flesh, all this understanding you think you got in your flesh, you ain't got nothing, baby. That's for the flesh. What do you have in the spirit? You don't know. Okay. Romans chapter 16, verse 25. And it reads, now to him that is of power to establish you concerning my gospel and the preaching of Yeshua HaMashiach according to the revelation of the mystery, which was kept secret since the world began. That's beautiful. Father, y'all. Romans chapter 16 and 25. That's beautiful, Father, y'all. Going back before the world began. I told y'all. See, he was giving me this morning, this topic, the power of my mystery, Deborah. It's resting you and those that I have given it unto. That's why I said if it was so, it will fool the very elect, the ones I elect to be servants of mine with the power of his mystery. Now listen to this. Romans 16 and verse 25. Every last one of these verses is really doing something to my spirit because it's showing me a lot of things. It's showing me of all the things I've taught of what took place before the foundation of the world. It's actually letting you know the mystery of Yah was given to those before the foundation of the world. That means so that man can't mess it up from the floor or take from it and add to it. You can't take it from an individual that Ahayah has instilled it into because it was done before the foundation of the world and not when they got down here. You see? Okay. Romans chapter 16 and 25. I want you to open your spirit to what is being said here. Now, to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Yeshua HaMashiach, according to the revelation of the mystery which was kept secret, no, which was kept secret since the world began. It even telling you the preaching of Yeshua HaMashiach before the world began. See, you all thinking this stuff started here. I told y'all the lamb was slaughtered before heaven and earth was created. This thing don't start with Sister Deborah. This thing don't start with YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and it don't start with you. This stuff has existed since the beginning of time. And did not I tell you that he taught me first what took place before the foundation of the world, and those that are taught from that level, they are the elects. Those are special people. And Ahayah's sitting here telling you that now. They host the mystery. Everybody that said they prophets and prophetess, they don't know nothing about this here. That's why they on here talking about prosperity. That's why they on here talking about women not supposed to wear this and wear this and makeup and this and makeup and that. That's why they on here talking about he said, she said. He said this and he said that and she said this and they doing this to me and they doing that. Look, what about what spirit and truth of the matter? What about the mystery of the Most High Ahayah? What about saluting his curses, his chastising, his will, his discipline, his orders? Whether it's good or whether it's evil, salute his power and his way of doing things. What about that? Oh no, they ain't got time for that. They only have time to deceive you. And those are the ones that people supports. Those are the ones I see. And I'm like, how you giving this person? What the crap? It's off the chain. And even Ahayah have said, don't be caught up in that, Deborah. Because it's a form of showing you who's who and what's what. From there's fruit. You know what the fruit can represent. And yes, I do. A lot of people take the fruit and try to make it something simple. But it's deep, y'all. It's deep. And it's something that you can measure about people. It's something you can measure to see really where they stand. And they thinking they testing you, and they don't even understand they have been tested by me and have failed. I don't have no problem bringing these scriptures according to the way the Spirit of the Most High Yah had orchestrated everything before the foundation of the world. And the biggest issue I had since I've been on this whole devil platform, the biggest is to stand on here and tell people, build up your treasures in the heavens and not on the earth. And it has to do what you give to the prophets and the righteous one. And to have people see that out of the ballpark somewhere. And I put it dead in the field. Matter of fact, it's in the pitcher's hand. How do they mindset get way out in the outfield? I don't know. That leads me to understand. You don't understand a word I'm saying. This page is not for you. This channel is not for you. If you got messed up from the floor thinking it's about pledging something to Sister Deborah and giving Sister Deborah something, that it's deeper than that, you guys. It's where your spirit at. See, when your spirit is really in it, and your spirit is aware of spirit and truth, and the spirit is aware of, okay, this is food for my spirit. This is investing in my eternal destiny in heaven. You mean to tell me I don't feel that nothing is worth investing in that? Treasures in the heaven? See how sick? The people's minds are gone, too far gone. So even informing people of that, their minds are too far gone. Their minds are gone. I see people supporting people saying things so wicked and evil, and they getting goo-gaws of what you would call support. And I'm like, but Ahayah has told me time after time, if you go far to the left and you know I put you right, that be on you. Because I've told you, Deborah, stay in the lane. Don't go to your left or your right. Stay in the center of the lane. Because you know I'm there with you. even if it feels like you running that race yourself. And I think it's really sad. Okay, so in Romans chapter 16 and 25, that is really good because he's telling you again, it's before heaven and earth was created. Exactly what Sister Deborah tried to teach and realized no one got it. But this one person later on picked it up, and Ahayah allowed her to climb on top. But outside of that, it's like you're talking to a brick wall. It's like you're talking to a brick wall, and it's sad. So I'm going to leave my page to the point where Ahayah, I'm looking for Ahayah to only bring those that he has orchestrated to come and hear who they are. I'm in them, they in me. We are in this together. That's who I want to come to this page. That Ahayah draws to this page so they can find who they are already in themselves because they can hear it coming out of me. Okay? So here we go. Now let's go to Colossians. In Colossians, now in Romans 16 and 25 said a whole bunch of stuff. A whole bunch of stuff. Preaching of Yeshua HaMashiach according to the revelation of the mystery. Going back to what I was telling you, people don't even know who Yeshua is and who HaMashiach is. And they sit here arguing with the white man about Jesus Christ when they don't even know who Yeshua HaMashiach is. In their own language, who the Son of Man and the Son of Yah is. They don't even know. You see? And it says it here. According to the revelation of the mystery, which was kept secret since the world. See? These are the power of the mystery in which it has been given to Ahayah's elects, his servants, the prophets. This is where you know who's the true prophets and who's not. If they're not speaking and breaking things into your spirit, like Sister Deborah, they are not true prophets nor prophetess. Most of them are going on he say, she say. You said this about me, and you said I'm a false this, and you said he said, she say, he say. Oh, don't wear makeup, and you're not supposed to do this. You're supposed to follow Torah. You're not supposed to eat. You're not supposed to walk. You're supposed to keep these feast days. All of that crap. Why, here's Sister Deborah, humble as a bee, minding her business. She's in peace on this devil platform, giving you the power of the mystery of my Father. Hallelujah. So let's go to Colossians chapter 1, verse 26. This is really good, y'all. These verses are really good. Colossians chapter 1 and verse 26. Even the mystery which has been hidden from ages and from generations, but now is being manifest to his saints. Now it is being manifest to his saints. Did not he tell you in Revelation? He's finished with dealing with them, but he left it to his servants, the prophets, to give it to the people. So if you make me error, then your whole life is error. Sad thing. So if you see me not to be who Ahayah's calling me to be, and you found error in me, do you know what that means for you? Do you understand what that means for you? You are doomed. You are doomed. Let's read that again. Colossians chapter 1, verse 26. Even the mystery which have been hidden from ages and from generations, but now is being made manifest to his saints. How is it made manifest to his saints? How? Because he put it in his prophets, his servant, the prophets, which are the righteous, to give it to his saints as it been given through his power to them. Beautiful. Father, I just thank you for this because this is such a beautiful study. This is, oh, I look at this here and see what he gave me. It is beautiful. Now let's go to Colossians chapter 2, verse 2 and 3. Colossians chapter 2, verse 2 and 3. And verse 2 says, that their hearts might be comforted, being knitted together in give and gave, and unto all riches of the fullness, assurance of understanding, to the acknowledgement of the mystery of Ahayah, and of the Father, and of Christ. That's the three, y'all, in one. That's the three in one. That's the three in one. You notice you don't see Yeshua here because he's the Son of Man. But you see Christ because Christ is Ahayah, right hand and stretched out arm. It is his power. Okay? So let's read that again. Colossians 2, verse 2. That their hearts might be comforted, being knitted together in give and gave, and unto all riches of the fullness, assurance of understanding, to the knowledge of the mystery of Ahayah, and of the Father, and of the power, Christ. It's a mystery. Because here today, TG Jakes don't know the power is Christ, is Hamashiach. The word called Christ is Ahayah's power. That's his right hand. Okay? Clifford Dollars. They don't know any of this. Because we really believe, because you see them wealthy, you see them with the mega churches, you see them with hundreds and thousands of members, just like on YouTube. These people got all the stuff and they getting all the support, but ain't teaching no spirit of truth, no righteous, and they have no power of the mystery of Ahayah. Isn't that beautiful how he orchestrated it? I'm looking back at it now and seeing how blessed I am to just be in his presence today in knowing the mystery of his power. I'd rather be in this than to be where they at any time of the day and have whatever they have, whether it's subscribers, likes, mega churches, mega millions of hundreds of thousands of members, tithes and offering. I'd rather have what I have here teaching you all or speaking to you all regarding than to have what they have. Because what I'm speaking of is going straight to the narrow gate. That's what he's putting on my heart right now. He said, Deborah, that's the way to the narrow gate. I think that's beautiful. That's the way to the narrow gate. Okay, and verse 3 of Colossians chapter 2, verse 3, in whom are hid all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. See? It's what? Hid. All the treasures. What did he say? Build up your treasures in the heaven and not on the earth. And what is that? You go back up to verse 2. That their hearts might be comforted. That's that peace Sister Deborah telling you about. Being knitted together in give and gave unto all riches, the full assurance of understanding, to acknowledgement of the mystery of Ahayah, and of the Father, and of his power, Christ. Verse 3, in whom all hid all treasures, wisdom and knowledge. You see? You think that Sister Deborah would give this up for getting to think that it's a few dollars, about receiving a few dollars from somebody. Come on now, y'all. You see how sick that sounds? And that disappoint me greatly to know that people's minds are that slow. Are that slow. They don't see the ideal of even here telling you the treasures are hidden. But therefore, that which he said, build up your treasures in the heaven. People can't build up in heaven when they detach to the earth, to the world. Let's put it like that. Just tell it like it is. They're not thinking about building any treasures in heaven. Or give unto my prophet, you will receive a prophet reward. That's treasures. Give a drink to my righteous and receive a righteous reward, or drink to my disciples and receive a righteous reward. Those are heavenly treasures, he said, build upon. Look how hard it is to give unto a righteous person of the Most High. Now, if it was an unrighteous, no problem. That's what you see. But the righteous, see how hard it is? But I love it. I thank the Most High for it. And I love him for being just so gentle with me to give me the peace of mind of understanding it in the fullness. He don't have to break this thing down so I can get the fullness of it. He breaks it down so I can understand it's okay, Deborah. You one of the richest women on the face of the earth. You are one of the richest person on the face of the earth. Because you was rich when you left me. And you're going to be rich when you come back. And it ain't going to be based on the sick minds that think it's about $1 or $2 that they can give you. That's going to really help you. How will it help you in the kingdom? It won't. But it'll help them with their treasures. That's how sick they are. When Ahayah is saying, give to his prophets and you receive a prophet reward, he's saying your reward is in heaven for you. Not that you giving something to the prophet. The prophet is there for you to build your treasures on in the heavens. So when you give out of the righteous heart, then you're building your treasures. You're not building Deborah's treasures. Deborah's treasures were already built before the foundation of the world. My treasures has already been built in the kingdom. So you think for 1 minute that collecting a few dollars down here, it's going to be worth more than what I've already received in the heaven? Come on. You see, the mind is already, like he said, destroyed. And he said that, and the reason why he gives me that out of Deuteronomy 28, so I can understand this is why you're not going to have a common sense mindset. You're not going to get people that can really think. Either they smarter than smart, being dumber than dumb, or they just dumber than dumb and can't grip not even spirit and truth, or even basic things, everyday things. So whenever people do things for those that represent the righteous one and Ahayah's prophets, they are too ignorant. They are too ignorant of a people to understand it's not that you building up anything on earth for the true prophets and the true righteous. It's for them to be there so you can build up your treasures based on what you give them. You receive the reward. It doesn't say you give unto a prophet will receive a reward. Think, people, you gone. No scripture said if you give to the righteous, you receive a righteous reward. The righteous receive a reward. Or if you give to a prophet receive the reward. We are the reward unto you. We're in the midst of you so that you can build your treasures in the midst of us for the kingdom. Let's give it a better. A lot of times I see what the Father's saying as far as parables. I'm going to break that down to the lowest of the lowest as in the lowest. It's just like people really think when they see people out on the streets, the hungry, the homeless. They look at them and they get this here sympathy and feeling, but they don't understand that's detached to your flesh. Because if it was detached to your spirit, you will be making a difference. And what he's saying is this: they're there to change your heart, to teach you how to give, to teach you how to care, to teach you how to do the will of the Father. So while you thinking that you see the homeless, the people, the hungry, the sick, those in the prison, you see them, you thinking they're there because you better than they are. You got more than they got. You better than them. You up here, they down here. You got a place to sleep. You got this, you got that, and you got this. And you looking at them as if they down and you high. But the Father wants this prophetess to tell you. The only reason they were there is to allow your heart to be where it is at. And if your heart looks at them and can't consider to even give and gave unto them, then that's a part of letting you know you are the terror. You are predestined for the broad gate. No doubt about it. See, Ahayah was teaching me that through this mystery lesson, that Deborah, if they just sit down for 1 minute and count their costs, sit down and count your costs in the spirit realm, you already know where you head. You just won't accept it because you want to put you all yourself in one line and just want to see yourself there because you want to deceive yourself. But the reality is, the way you treat mine, it identifies really who you are. That's what he's saying. Because a lot of people look at people and they figure these people out here and they're homeless and they ain't got no food to eat. Oh, they down here. Oh, I'm going to give them something here and give them something to last them 1 hour. And they think they done something. That's the mind. I told you, gone. And they see them out there. But what do? They have nothing for them. Because they figure I'm too high up to go down too low. And if I do here, I'm going to give you a few dollars and keep it going. Why? It's because that shows you the level of you not who you think you are. Because once you come into the spiritual walk in spirit and truth, and you come into the power of the mystery, you understand that they are there so I can be right where I'm at. They're not there just to be there. That's why he said the poor shall be with you always, because he has orchestrated it to be that way. The poor is supposed to help the greedy and the rich hearts. And their hearts supposed to show the poor who Ahayah, that Ahayah is still with them. That's how they work, hand in hand, you guys. And you all nasty attitude people wants to think it's about Sister Deborah asking for $1 or $2. You didn't disturb Sister Deborah with that action. You messed up your chance to become anything unified or unity with Sister Deborah. That's just it. I'm done with you. Because anytime a person thinks it's about their few dollars that they can donate, baby, please, I'm here that you may build up treasures in the heavens. And if you feel offended by that, it's because you have nothing to look for in heaven. You might as well start seeing and mingling with those that's in the broad gate. because that's exactly where you're headed. People can't see spirit and truth. People can't see the children of Ahayah. And the people sitting here saying, we the people. No. They just totally disrespect Ahayah. His total spiritual order, period. You ain't walking nothing upright. You ain't doing nothing spirit and truth, but wicked and evil, and you're calling that righteous in the eyes of Yah. That's what you see, not him. So never think that the poor is out there to be poor and homeless. They're out there so you can be where you at. And for your heart to be affected by their situation, and their situation to be affected by your giving. Because they will believe in Ahayah is always there for them. When they see you giving, then their belief that they have already goes more with a assurance that he exists. So even wealthy people or people who think that they got something, you ain't doing nothing by doing nothing for yourself. That don't mean nothing. You just a fool. Use a fool and use a fool, and you're going to be a fool. You're going to circle around as a fool until you look at everything and see everything that I've gotten. It is vain and vexation with spirit, because none of it's going to be worthless to doing anything. And I like how the Father does that. He let them keep running around in a circle because they think they all that and that, and let them run around a circle and wonder why prosperity of any way, even peace, is not within them. It's always chaos on all sides. That's what feeds them, to keep chaos up. Okay, now, Colossians chapter 2 and verse 2 and 3, and I'm going to read that over, and then I'm going to go to the next one. That their hearts might be comfort, being knitted together in give and gave, and until all riches of the fullness, assurance, and understanding, to the acknowledgement of the mystery of Ahayah, and of the Father, and of Yeshua HaMashiach. Verse 3, in whom are hidden, this is hidden, you all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. Praise the Most High Ahayah. That is Colossians chapter 2, verse 2 and 3. Now we're going to go to Matthew's. We're going to go to Matthew's chapter 13, verse 11. Matthew's chapter 13 and verse 11, and it reads, he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. But to them, Deborah, it is not given. Praise the mighty Yah. Praise the mighty Yah. See, we want to this is what the most dangerous thing is happening in the world. And it's okay for me for it to happen, because he said it's finished, and he's given evil and wicked and evil their time period, their hour. Okay, so it's okay for everything to happen. But one of the things I spotted as a prophetess in the wilderness is they're gonna have to, at this time and in this hour, to deny the book itself and deny Ahayah and deny the book. They have to. That's the only choice that they have left, is to deny it. The only way they're going to be able to continue to walk in this life today, you all, either they're going to have to walk in wickedness and evil, and in the process of walking in it, they're going to have to deny the word. What else is there for them to walk in? They don't have nothing else. So they're going to have to deny the word and walk in wicked and evil and call it righteous. See, so they're going to have to not only deny the word, they're going to have to convert it over to a lie. And to convert it over to a lie, and they don't even understand it's going to show the insight of the fact that they don't represent Ahayah, and Ahayah don't represent them. So that's what's happening. It's getting to the point where the biblical is going to be denied. Like everything I'm reading now is very powerful. And I like what he said. He said, it's been hidden and it's been given to the servants, the prophets, because it's finished on his end. That means you can go on and deny the book, y'all. You can deny the Bible. Okay? You can deny him. You can deny Torah. You can deny Paul. Father said it's finished. And I keep trying to tell y'all that. I can't seem to get, it just seems like something is missing. You know, you can do whatever you want because that's where we're at in that hour. Because it is what? It is what? Created the evil for the days, the wicked for the days of evil. That means evil and wicked, this is their hour. So what is left for those who have deceived the multitude by a great number? You know, it's very few making it to the finding the narrow gate. So what do that leave? Broad is the way. So they're going to deny the Bible. They're going to deny Yeshua HaMashiach. You see, that's where the stage we're in. For the year of 2023, that's what everybody's going to be doing. Denying the word, Ahayah, and the Bible in full force. And you're going to understand it. They're going to go up against everything it stands for. I can feel that already, though. I already felt that in the middle of this year. Yep, it's a full denial. I already hear it. I already hear it. So it's going to be a big thing next year. The beginning of next year, all the way next year. Matthew chapter 13, verse 11. He answered and said unto them, because it is given. When was it given? Before the foundation of the world, to Sister Deborah. So it ain't nothing you can say or do in your wicked heart to take it away. It was given, past tense. When? Before the foundation of the world was it given. Okay? Unto you to know the mystery of the kingdom of the heaven. But to them, it is not given. So, Yeshua was actually saying, Deborah, don't look for something from somebody that I haven't given spirit and truth to. Just because they say they got spirit and truth and they walking in the light, don't mean they got spirit and truth and they walking in light. Because when you walking in the light and you got spirit and truth, you have the Ruach HaKodesh, it has a heart. It does not support unrighteous. It support righteous in any and every way possible. So when you teach all these verses showing you how you build up your treasures in the heavens, and he telling you build up your treasures in the heavens, and he telling you how you get rewards in heaven, and it's all based on if you give to my righteous one, and then you make it about a personal need and a personal want based on if I get a job, if I get this, if I get this, if I win this, if I get this, then. No, you're not saying that to me. Because I was doing good before you joined. I'll be doing good when you run away. It doesn't matter. So that shows you that it's deeper and it's bigger than your personal feelings, your personal understanding, and your personal wisdom and your personal knowledge, which is all flesh. And the flesh feeds the sick mind that it's about donating $1 or donating whatever. No, it's bigger than that. You got to feel like you are supporting the kingdom. And if you don't feel like you supporting the kingdom, get off the page. There's many of them out there you can support. Get off the page. If you're not getting food for your spirit to support your spiritual treasure, your spiritual rewards, kick rocks somewhere else. That's the most important thing. I want to say that because it's important. All that he has given me, I have not lost one. Because he knows what is given. And if it is the fruits of his alliance and who he stands for. And I thank him because I would never have known all this time were the mindsets of the people who gets on this platform every time a video is up and thinking it's about donating a few dollars to Deborah when I get this, when I get this, when I get that. And the reason why I'm expounding on it is because the message he gave me, the power of the mystery. You giving them the mystery. And if the mystery rests in them, then what you giving them activate the mystery in them. And they thinking that you just here to collect a few dollars. And they don't see that you've been on here all this time and never have any spot to donate anything. The sick minds. The minds is sick. The minds is sick. It's gone. It's gone. And the reason why one don't have is because Ahayah said, you've been robbing me. I've been sending my prophets with the power of my mystery. She's been feeding you day and night and day. How can you rob? You can rob him because he's the one giving you, the one to feed you. And when he gives you the one to feed you, hear me now, hear me now, hear me now. It ain't that one inherit, it's that you inherit. Treasures in the heavens. Rewards in the kingdom. So who's getting blessed? The one that's getting a few dollars on the earth, or the one that's getting rewards and treasures in the heaven? Think about that. That's right there. That's over the heads of those that's slow. That's over their head. They couldn't even comprehend that. Okay. So we got I'm almost done. We got let's see, verse 7. Ephesians chapter 1. In Ephesians chapter 1, verse 9 and 10, it reads, having made known unto us the mystery of his will, according to his good pleasure, which he has purpose in himself. See, this mystery that he has given to his prophets is his purpose of himself. That's how potent of what type of food you all are eating. And you walking around here acting like you eating McDonald's fries. And don't understand, that's how deep your flesh is. Getting crap like McDonald's fries, and you thinking that's what you're eating when you come to this platform. And don't even understand, and you eating strictly from the heaven. And too ignorant to know that. Because you think it's caught into materialistic things. When I come before someone, you best bet. If I have to come to you, you best bet. This ain't about a worldly. This ain't about materialistic as far, even though it might appear. It's what the fire of Yah is trying people by. So you can see your own worth while you're on the earth and who you represent. Are you the tare or are you the wheat? He said, I remember it used to be a statement, and it's in there probably several times. Pray that he send more laborers in the vineyard. Do you think that when you get on YouTube and Facebook and all these places, you don't see all the people that's out here laboring? Do you really believe they are the laborers of the Most High Ahayah? They don't have no spirit and truth. They don't have no light. They don't have the power of the mystery of Ahayah. They just feeding you crap, and you calling yourself blessed. Lost people. Lost people. So, Ephesians chapter 1, verse 9. Having made known unto us the mystery of his will, according to the mystery of his will. Somebody said they don't know the mind of Yah. Ha ha ha! Tell me. See, see, the mystery of his will, according to his good pleasure, which he has purpose in himself. He has made it known unto us. Who is us? The mystery. What did he tell his disciples? I give you the mystery and give them parables. And that's what he addressed me with about 3 or 4 months ago. You giving them parables. I see what you're doing. You're giving them parables. And it's a good thing. Because in hearing, you can't hear. And seeing, you can't see. Because you don't understand. So I thank him for even 4 months ago explaining to me that I've been giving a lot of you all parables. Because you couldn't do nothing with the word. You weren't even ready for the word. Even though you was hooping and hollering spirit and truth. Oh, I'm the light. Ahayah. But he's saying, you're giving them parables. I see what you're doing. You're doing exactly what Yeshua did. I got you. Don't think he didn't know that. He know his word is a mystery. And it's the pure word of righteousness. And you just can't swing that everywhere and think you're going to get a result. Because you're not. Look how they act. Like you committed a crime. Okay, verse 10. We still in Ephesians chapter 1. And here go verse 10. Ephesians chapter 1 and verse 10. That in the dispensation of the fullness of times, he might gather together in one all things in power. That's what Christ is, the power. Both with which are in heavens and which are on earth, even in him. That's Ephesians chapter 1, verse 9 and 10. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Ephesians chapter 9. Now let's go to Ephesians chapter 3. Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 9. And to make all men see what is the fellowship. You hear that, y'all? The fellowship of the mystery, which from the beginning of the world has been hidden in Ahayah, who created all things by Yeshua HaMashiach. You know, that's sad. That is really sad. Ephesians chapter 3, verse 9. This is what happened. And to make all men see what is the fellowship of the mystery, which from the beginning of the world has been hidden in Ahayah. The fellowship of the mystery. You see? That has been hidden in Ahayah, who created all things by Yeshua HaMashiach. That is Ephesians chapter 3 and 9. These are verses I'm giving you all that has so much power, so much authority, so much righteous. But it will fly straight over one's head. But that one, I'm always keep that in mind. That one. Pick it up, that one. That one. Amos chapter 3, verse 6 and 7. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord has not done it? Verse 7. Surely the Lord Ahayah will do nothing but revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophet. Y'all don't get that, do you? See, this is saying all the hell that's going to be kicked out. That's going to be... See, right now, it feels like a quiet storm and everybody's good. It's just what is about to happen that's going to bend. I ain't going to say about. What is going to happen, everybody's going to bend backwards. Because a lot of things that's taking place now, People turn to blind eye and a deaf ear too. They act like they don't even see nothing that's going on. They don't see all this killing, this nothing. They don't see nothing. They don't even see the zombies that's out. They don't even see the zombies. Zombies killing by great numbers, and they don't even see it because they call up in self. What they want. What they gonna get. What they have. Me and mine. Okay, let it be you and yours. But move on with you and yours, and build your own empire with you and Ahayah. If you think that that's what life is about, okay. Now here in Amos chapter 3, verse 6 and 7, listen to what it says. Shall a trumpet be blown in a city, and the people not be afraid? And it got a question mark. Deborah have blown the trumpet. Deborah have been in YouTube 4 years, a little over 4 years, and have blown the trumpet of warning. And the people be not afraid. Shall there be evil in the city, and Ahayah has not done it? Shall evil come into the city? And not just this city, just say the whole world. And Ahayah have not done it. Watch this here. Surely Ahayah will do nothing but reveal the secrets unto his servants, the prophet. See, he'll let this evil have its way and keep revealing to his servants what he wants them to do and how he wants them to go around all that's wicked and evil that he has allowed them to blow the trumpet and reveal to everyone. But they don't take heed to it. People ain't thinking about, ain't no nothing out here that wants to go in the direction of the Most High, Ahayah. There is verses after verses, and I'm going to end there, and I'm going to press on. So I'm going to upload this message, and that one that's in my lab, not on in my lab yet, out of my subscribers, that one. I hope you got something out of it, and keep seeking the Most High to bring upon you more and more of what is spirit and truth and the power of the mystery that he has given you. And keep seeking the Most High in that area. Don't trust the left and your right. Don't trust, because you know how left and right, you got somebody on this side, you got somebody on this side. Don't trust them, because they only worried about themselves. They only worried about themselves and what they are willing to get for themselves. So let them just keep on getting and ignore the left and the right and keep running your race. And know that at the front of the race, you can see the victory sign. Know that that is Ahayah, and don't give up. Just keep the race, keep the pace. You winning, whether it don't seem like you are, in spite. He was dealing with me today before I laid down this evening. He was dealing with me on the fact that I have to come to the fullness that I have to, as a prophet, be hated. I have to be talked about. I have to be looked at as evil and wicked. You have to. Look what they did to Yeshua. And if your walk is consistent or walk to mimic after him in ways, you ain't perfect like he was, but you're trying to not so much as say walk his ways, but walk the righteous that's in him. And you see that walking this route, all kind of demonic demons and demonic people are around, and they don't have to be, because if they're smarter than thou and has the keys to the kingdom, and they have the power to the mystery, and they have spirit and truth and they have the light, why don't they go somewhere else with it? You see what I'm saying? If they got all that and some. That shows you that they're not as smart as they think or as smart as they want to be. You see what I'm saying? Or smart as they, yeah, think that they are. So I, Sister Deborah, hope that you got something out of it. And even me, myself, I got something out of it. Uh, and I said, I guess I said shalom, 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 shalom. All righty.